Hello everyone, thank you for joining us on another edition of Hall Talk. I'm your host, Louis Olvera. I'll be joined by my panel in just a few moments, but first, let's recap on what happened this week for both men's and women's basketball teams. After a defeat last week against Butler, the Pirates bounced back with a convincing 72-64 road win over the Hoyas Wednesday night at the Verizon Center. The Pirates have now won 5 of their last 6 games and hold sole possession of third place in the Big East, half a game ahead of Creighton with a Big East record of 8-5. The victory is also the 100th at Seton Hall for head coach Kevin Willard. He is the 6th coach in program history to reach the century mark and the first since P.J. Carlesimo did so. As for the women's team, they're coming off a 1-1 record last weekend and splitting both season series against Georgetown and Villanova. Despite a career-high 28 points from Alicia Powell, the Seton Hall women's basketball team dropped a 73-65 decision to Georgetown on Friday night at home. Tabatha Richardson-Smith was very quiet in that game, but came firing in all cylinders on Sunday and set the all-time career scoring record for the Seton Hall women's basketball team in a crucial 60-50 win over Villanova. Richardson-Smith finished with a game-high 27 points and grabbed 9 rebounds for the Hall. That wasn't the biggest headline from her, though. She now has 1,810 career points, passing Geraldine Centillas for the Seton Hall all-time record. The team hopes she continues the run of form for the upcoming games as the standings get more and more complicated. We'll discuss this and a lot more with my panel, so get ready, folks. This is Hall Talk.
This team needs to show me something for me to believe that they're going to make a run in the tournament.
I think they can have a chance of going over 35 wins without a problem.
Just stepping up from the 4 points to the 17. She's just dropping threes like there's no tomorrow.
But chemistry is an underrated key in college basketball.
That was by far the best game I've seen them play.
This is Hall Talk, and that's how the chalk talks.
Welcome back, everyone. I am your host, Louis Olvera, and I'm here by a very special panel today. Frank Frasco and Aaron Ross. Fellas, how we doing?
Doing great. Fired up to be here.
All right, well, let's get started, shall we? So we start with men's basketball. Yesterday, crucial win against Georgetown. What did you guys see from this game?
So first off, they're on the fence right now. They're looking to get a bid for the NCAA tournament. So we have 3 big games coming up. You got St. John's, you got DePaul, and then you have a 50-50 with Providence. Now, what I saw with this team, first off, tight defense, okay? They made Georgetown have an off beginning. But also, they were pushing it inside. Isaiah, amazing. 22 points, 6 big assists. This team's looking good. They just have to stay on track. They have to slow down the ball, and they have to get big wins. As I said, St. John's on Sunday, and then DePaul with the last game of the season.
And I mean, the team didn't score a field goal for the rest, almost the entire second half. Their last 21 points were from the free throw line.
All free throws, and that just speaks for the defense. I know you like to talk about that a ton. Derek Gordon's a key player there. He might not score as much. You know, the last few games he's had 12 or a few off the bench, which is a surprise. He's the defensive monster for the team. But really, the state of this team, a win at Georgetown, even though Georgetown's not been as great as they've been over the past few years, winning by 8 or more points against them twice in the same season, getting a season sweep against Georgetown is huge. They're a big name. It doesn't even matter if they're not playing that well. And then you look forward to St. John's. It's just a momentum shift. This team knows how to play after a loss. They can really play in a bounce-back game, and that's what I like the most of this team. They get it out of their head right away.
And so right now, sole possession of third position in the Big East. As of today, we're not a bubble team anymore. We have us at an 11 seed. Where do you guys see this team? Are we a tournament, NCAA tournament, or are we a 1-2 seed in the NIT?
I definitely see us making the NCAA tournament for one reason. Well, I'm not going to guarantee it just yet. They just need to do their job, really. They need to win the games they're supposed to win. You know, St. John's, this is a team, they've got 1 win in the last 15. If St. John doesn't go into the Garden on Sunday and knock them out, that's an issue. But plain and simple, they need to win some big games on the road like they did at Georgetown, which is a big one, at Creighton. So road wins are big. You got to protect the home court, but this team needs to win.
Frank, let me ask you, would we be a tournament team before the season ends, or do we have to make a run in the Big East tournament to assert ourselves?
We could be an NCAA tournament team if we beat the teams that we have to beat. If we beat St. John's, DePaul, Providence. Let's not go back. Let's not take Xavier as a loss. We only lost to them 84-76 a couple weeks ago.
Very tight game.
We can definitely beat them. I know they're really ranked high, but we can definitely beat this team. But we have to at least get, like 5 more games for the rest of the season? We have to get at least 3 of those
They have
wins.
to take that. But, you know, you mentioned the Big East tournament. if Seton Hall was to take a loss in the first round of their first game of the Big East tournament, I think
It'd be tough.
that would put them in the NIT for me. You can't go into the Big. I mean, I know the Big East. It's anyone's game any day of the week,
Very
even
true.
like the St. John's we got
Very
coming
true.
up. But you can't take anyone easy. But Seton Hall also cannot lose their first game of the Big East tournament because then it's just going to knock them out. Then the voters are going to think they're not what they are.
It would help him out if they get a first round bye as well.
Exactly.
And so, Frank, you actually touched on it. Whitehead, guys, he's been red hot lately. He's averaging his last 6 games, 21 points, 6 assists, 2 blocks. I mean, he's in the leading candidate for first team All Big East. We could all agree on that.
Exactly. Coach Willard said it himself after the game.
But to me, he hasn't shown it lately. But I remember a month and a half ago, people were giving this guy a lot of heat. And do you guys think that he deserves this heat? Has he responded from it? Let me hear from you guys.
He's definitely responded. He is spreading the ball around, okay? He is the team leader, let's be honest. He's a leader for this team. But not only with the 26 points last week, and then we got the 22 points yesterday, it's not only that, he's spreading the ball around. But my one criticism, if I have to say one, he's not slowing the ball down. You have to slow the ball down. If you're up by
You're playing
15,
at a fast-paced game,
yeah,
which
it's
is
too
what
fast.
they want to do.
Yeah,
that's where the team's at their best is when they're at a fast pace, they're running gun, not breaking it down, running an offense. But there's certain times in the game, I see what you mean. He needs to slow it down at some points. But Isaiah, I definitely agree with you, Louis. I know we talked about this along the road throughout the season. I don't think Isaiah's deserved it at all whatsoever. And the word respond is the absolute perfect way to describe it because the man is dropping 20 points at least in every single game almost now. And plus, he's doing it on both ends of the floor, getting blocks, like you said. If you're playing defense, it's one thing if you can score. I mean, a shooter's going to shoot. But if you can play defense in the same exact game, then you're a world-class athlete.
And so, like I asked earlier, do you guys think he's a fair... We can discuss this later on in the season before the season ends, but do you guys see him alongside Chris Dunn, possibly...
100%.
We all agree on that?
I mean, you see what we did with DSR with Georgetown. The man had no points at all. He was locked down. Derek Gordon had him, but Isaiah, I think, is above and beyond, played better than him this entire season. And that's been a key player in the Big East the last 3-4 years.
And so I kind of already heard you guys' predictions, but hold on those. We'll talk about them later. Right now, let's move on to the women's side. The women's team this week played against Villanova, got a crucial win, and we went with Anuar Zidan with an interview with Tabatha Richardson-Smith.
Thank you. This Anwar here, joined by the all-time leading scorer, Tabatha Richardson-Smith. Congratulations for that. Please tell us how you feel.
I feel great. Obviously, to get the win, but just have fun with my team. Everybody knows we're out there having fun, and the crowd's having fun. So that was the key to tonight's game.
Awesome. Please tell us, what did you guys do different this game prior than other games?
We played as a team, and we played confidently. We focused on ourselves. We didn't focus on what the opponents did. We focused on what we were good at doing. And if we focus on that all year, there's no team who can step in our way.
And what do you guys look forward to next games against Butler?
Play our heart out, play with effort, continue to play, and have fun.
Thank you very much. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you, Anwar. And fellas, you heard from the best on the team. Talk about a little bit about her great performance.
Her performance in that game was stupendous. She needed 21 points to tie the all-time record, and she broke that with 4.5 minutes left in the third quarter. That speaks for herself. She dropped 27 points against a good Villanova team who really didn't shoot that well. They shot 42 threes for some reason that game, but Tabs played a phenomenal game on both ends, and she was a distributor that game as well.
100%. The team total was 60 points. She almost had half of the points. She's stepping up. She's 100% leader. But Alicia, let's not forget about her. She's averaging 20 points in the last 6 games.
Yeah.
She's really stepping up. I know she had 28 points last week against Georgetown. That was her career high.
The loss against Georgetown, she had a great game. Tabs was in a funk.
The seniors are stepping up. Definitely.
And she has to pick up a lot of weight because Shekinah Richardson right now not using her hand very much at all. She doesn't want to use it. She injured her hand last week. How big is that loss for the team? Especially not even her. There's been a lot of role players throughout the season that haven't had many minutes at all because of injuries.
It's been a very up and down team, but a loss of Shekinah, to not have her play at all in a game, really other than Tabs, the team's offense runs completely through Shekinah.
It says a lot to have that victory against Villanova, who's on top and third place in the Big East.
Major win. But, Shekinah Richardson, like I said, other than Tabs, if it's not Tabs out there, Shakina Richardson is the one running the offense. A play is always designed for her or Tabatha Richardson. So there you have it. They need Shakina on that floor, but it's a great win without her.
Second in the Big East in assists. And so now we look at the standings for Seton Hall. 4th in the Big East. Did we see this coming from the team in preseason? They had 2 big losses. We've said it all year.
Yeah.
But the 2 point guards this year showed a lot. And they were up in the 1-2-3 zone, but now 4th place. They have Xavier breathing down their neck. Did you guys see this from the Hall? Do you guys expect this? Is it red alert right now for Seton Hall?
You know what? I did expect consistency in the seniors with Tabatha, with Alicia, with Tiffany, but I didn't expect. I was surprised with the undefeated run they had in the beginning. Right now, I know they had a bad loss with Georgetown, and they had the Georgetown and then Georgia back in December. That was pretty bad loss, but we could at the end of this weekend be second in the Big East. We have to beat the easy teams, honestly. That's what it comes down to.
It's exactly that. This team, I'm not going to lie, I did not expect them to be this up and down. 14-1, I thought that was kind of a long shot, but I thought they could be a very, very good team in the non-conference. And the Georgia, that's a tough place to play, but a loss at Marquette, this loss to Georgetown, they're not good losses to have. They really need to boost their resume again back for the tournament, and really they need to go into the Big East tournament hot. And they need to almost win the Big East tournament.
And so we'll stay with the women's, like you said, Frank, only a game behind second place St. John's. DePaul's on a whole nother level right now, so we won't even discuss them.
No.
What's the record for this weekend for the women's? They have at Butler and at Xavier.
We're going 2-0. Butler, the last time they played Butler, they had 49 combined points with Tabatha and Alicia. 49 points. But what I want to see with this game, I want them to facilitate the points to other players. As we talked about, Tabatha is the main scoring option for this team. So let's have Tabatha have like 5 or 6 assists. Let's have more players score and get more experience.
Aaron, 3-0, including the men?
I'm saying 3-0, including the men, exactly right. Butler is just a team. Neither Butler or Xavier for the women are teams that score a lot of points. And this Seton Hall team can play some serious defense. They've been in a funk lately. Like I said earlier, Tabs was shooting 2 of 18, 6 of 19, and really I think she's back out of it. Clearly, she had 27 against a great team in Villanova. I think she's going to do it in the men's team. I don't think they should have any issue with St. John's. Although they had a slow start last time, I don't think they should have an issue this time at Madison Square Garden.
All right, well, you heard it here first, folks. Aaron and Frank have a 3-0 record. I'm Louis Olvera for my panel. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next week.